I've been diabetic for 17 years now. I actually went in for a physical, I would say mid-summer of the year I was diagnosed. My doctor, he tested me for it, did the blood sugar test, said I was fine, nothing was wrong. Fall of that year, I was losing weight, so I was 11 years old, and I was losing 5-10 pounds a month. No diet or anything different was changing, going to the bathroom all the time. So finally my mom was at work and one of her friends there was like, you have to take your son into Children's Hospital, because her son had actually just gone through the same thing where he was urinating all the time, wasn't feeling the greatest, losing weight. And I went in and sure enough they did the finger poke, and the meter actually came back and just said high. They did a more hospital test, a blood test, and I think I was north of 950. So if you don't know what that means, essentially my body was shutting down. I just had way too much sugar in my body. It couldn't process anything. So the way that your body tries to handle that is it just, you use the bathroom all the time, you're constantly dying of thirst, and yeah, it's not fun. So typically when you're diagnosed with type 1 diabetes, your pancreas still kicks off insulin every once in a while. It's nothing set in stone. It will just give you some insulin sometimes, or other days it won't. So you have to manage through that. I think that was the most difficult thing, being 10, 11 years old and having to test my blood sugar and take shots and plan out what I was eating on a daily basis, both in school and outside of school. And at the same time, like, I could just completely bottom out in the middle of the day and not really know what to do. So that was interesting. When I got into high school, I had diabetes for about 6 years-ish, 6 or 7 years. And that's when kind of the second phase of being type 1 diabetic was really interesting, because I didn't want to be like the weird, awkward kid that had to, do anything different than all my friends, and you're going through being a teenager and whatnot. And then on top of it, where I went to high school, I had to actually go to the doctor's office in the school to take my shot. They wouldn't let me just take it with me. I don't know if they didn't trust me or if they just didn't really understand. So I was always the kid before lunch. I'd have to take the 5-minute walk to the office, take my shot, test my blood sugar, and walk back and eat. So that was interesting. I personally, just to kind of put it on the table, I kind of hid being diabetic for a long period of time. So probably from freshman to senior year of high school, I just didn't bring it up. I didn't know any other kids that were diabetic. I knew a couple adults, but didn't really relate with the age difference. So yeah, it was odd. I took care of myself, tested, took all my shots and everything, but it was just something that I think a lot of my friends don't really understand because I never brought it up. And then I started with the diabetes walk about 3 years ago. Long story short, I never really knew about the walk before. I'd never participated in anything, either via JDRF or ADA. My wife was getting her nails done in a nail salon, and I went with her, and on the table there was all these little pamphlets, and I happened to notice one that said Walk to Stop Diabetes. So I picked it up, called, and at the time I think Lydia had just started the walk here. Said, so now, this is our 3rd year, and I think, we're setting huge goals and getting there, and I think our walkers are well above where we wanted to be about a year ago. So it's cool to be a part of. One of the huge things that this walk means to me is, ever since I picked up that pamphlet that one day and called, and me and Lydia got together, it's opened up the floodgates for just different support groups. We started a networking group, ADA Type 1, which is younger professional type 1 diabetics. Just having that support base, so you can ask questions outside of doctor setting. You can just ask a friend or give them a call and kind of see what's going on with their pump or the different things going on out there. It's really helped me. I'm David Binder, and I'm a Red Strider for the ADA Step Out Walk in Milwaukee. Hope to see you there on Saturday, October 18th.